Makoto Misumi is a simple high school boy who gets called to be a part of a fantasy world. Makoto ends up in limbo due to a series of unpredictable events, and he meets the god Tsukuyomi. The god explains that he's not another simple mortal, but the son of a being from another world. Now, the people need him to bring peace to this magical world. After talking with Tsukuyomi, he sends him to the goddess Megami, who's in charge of deciding the power that she'll grant to Makoto. However, Megami makes fun of Makoto. After being less than charming and taunting and ridiculing him multiple times, she kindly grants him a useless power for combat. Not satisfied with everything she has done to upset the protagonist, Megami throws him out of the sky without care. However, Tsukuyomi manages to catch him in the air and gives him a decent power so he can survive in the new fantasy world. After spending several days without eating, lost, and wandering, Makoto manages to find a demi-human named Emma, and she offers him food and shelter. Emma teaches him magical skills that Makoto learns quite quickly thanks to the power Tsukuyomi gave him. After learning some spells, Makoto sets out to fight the enemy attacking Emma's village. This enemy was Shen, the invincible dragon. After a quick fight where nothing much happens, Makoto surprises Shen with his power, and they decide to be partners. After Shen and Makoto seal their pact, Shen takes on the appearance of an attractive woman with quite a few physical attributes. Shen promises that she'd be faithful to him, her master, and creates a village for Makoto where he'll now live with Emma and the orc tribe to which she belongs. The town that Shen shows Makoto is Aku, a village rich in food with good quality of life for its residents. As the orcs work around Aku, Makoto begins to learn spells to control the elements while learning to harness the power Tsukuyomi gave him. Near Aku, a working dwarf is running from the Calamity Spider, one of the many dangers in this world. As Shen goes out to explore, she meets the dwarf, who tells her that the Calamity Spider is nearby and coming for him. When the Calamity Spider arrives, Makoto attacks it with everything he has. However, nothing seems to affect it, and it even manages to regenerate very quickly. Although Makoto exhausts his energy trying to attack, he can't defeat it. However, it got so fascinated with Makoto's power that it also decided to make a pact to ally itself with him. Once they complete their pact, the spider takes the form of a human, like Shen, but with more spicy physical attributes. While Makoto is unconscious, Shen and Emma heal him and he recovers to talk to Baron, the dwarf the spider chased. Baron belongs to a race of hardworking dwarves capable of crafting the finest weapons and armor in the world. Makoto and her companions go out to investigate to distract themselves for a while. During their expedition, Shen asks Makoto to give her a name since apparently Shen no longer works. Makoto didn't care much about the matter, but he obliged to please her. He named Shen Tomoe, and the spider Mio. Now, with new names, his two maids work to create an army for their master. The dwarf weapons manufacturer moves to Aku, while Tomoe creates an army of lizard men, and Mio, an army of spider people. Now Makoto's army for the protection of Aku was made up of these three groups added to the orcs. Makoto, now known to everyone as Young Master, felt uncomfortable living with so many demi-humans. He takes the task of looking for a human village, and after several days of searching, Makoto finds a human. However, she gets scared and runs away from him. At first, Makoto thought she ran away from him because he was too ugly, but the human escaped because Makoto didn't speak the human language, thanks to the useful power that Megami gave him. Also, Makoto had so much mana and magic power that he was mistaken for a monster. Makoto set out to learn the human language to prevent the humans from being afraid of him. He also finds a mask to cover his ugliness, and asks one of the dwarfs for a ring to contain and hide his power. Although Makoto couldn't learn the human language well, it was possible to communicate through a speech bubble out of his hands. With everything ready, Makoto shows up to the village and he manages to get through to enroll in the village guild. Late at night, Mio and Makoto are walking through the village when a girl named Rinon appears in front of them. Makoto takes her to the inn where they're staying to give her shelter. In another part of town, Tomoe fights a secret organization to get answers about who's attacking them. With Tomoe's new intel and what Rion told him about her sister's kidnapping, Makoto realized that they were the same people. Makoto tells Tomoe and Mio to find Rinon's sister. While both girls are on their search, the organization threatens Rinon to steal from Makoto to pay off her sister's debts. Makoto notices and dedicates himself to protecting Rinon. When Tomoe and Mio finally find Rinon's sister, they easily take down the organization. However, after a fight over who was more powerful, they destroy half of the human village. After they destroy the town by competing, Makoto reprimands Tomoe and Mio, threatening to punish them if they do something like that again. The trio heads to the guild to find a quest to collect some materials and sell them to raise money. Makoto, Mio, and a group of adventurers go on a mission in a nearby forest. Already in the search, Makoto tells Mio to kill the enemies, and the group of Toa. Rinan's sister collects the different materials that the enemies leave behind. Suddenly, the group finds a particular creature with expensive material on it. However, they had to defeat it in a specific way, and Mio doesn't want to do it, fearing she'll screw it up. Then, Makoto decides to finish off the enemy with a simple bow, showing the group that despite being level 1, he had a spectacular aim. The group collects the ruby eyes, a valuable material, so Makoto decides to keep them for the future. Once they return, they all celebrate their triumph in a tavern. Back in Aku, Makoto meets Emma, who tells him that the orcs are building a house for him to live in, and she also tells him that Aku is better than ever. As Makoto sought to forward his business to other guilds, he accepted a job from Patrick Rembrandt, a well-known millionaire businessman. Since Tomoe was training and Mio was busy in Aku, Makoto decided to go alone to negotiate with Patrick. Makoto explains he'll help Patrick with his work, and that he wants to open his own business with the Merchants Guild. The job Patrick offers is to create a medicine to cure his wife. After chatting for a while, Makoto accepts the job and manages to prepare everything quickly since he has the materials. And Patrick shows him how to do it. Since Makoto hasn't signed up for the Siege Merchant Guild yet, he heads off to take the entrance exam. The exam is very easy for him thanks to his incredible intellect. After passing, Makoto officially becomes part of the Merchant Guild. Meanwhile, Tomoe returns from training, although she doesn't inform Makoto. Emma threatens Tomoe, saying she won't tell the young master she returned unannounced if she translates Makoto's memories they keep in a room in Aku. Since CJ's food is horrible, Makoto opens a portal to Aku to eat some quality food and finds Tomoe and Mio fighting to see his memories. Back at Patrick's house, Makoto decides to take an alchemist, Hazal, with enough knowledge to make the medicine to heal Patrick's wife and daughters. When Hazal finishes the antidote, he gives it to Makoto to administer to Patrick's wife and daughters. However, Makoto had to use his abilities to neutralize Patrick's wife and daughters, who were pretty aggressive. Once immobilized, Patrick gave him the medicine, and they healed instantly. By finishing the job, Makoto earns the reward and admiration of Patrick and his employees. Once Makoto leaves Patrick's house, he meets some bandits following him to kill him and steal the reward, as well as wanting to attack Mr. Patrick. However, Tomoe and Mio are there to fight the enemies, though Makoto tells Mio not to fight alongside Tomoe as they could destroy the village again. Once they defeat the enemies, they get information from one of them, and Tomoe finds out that Patrick is not to be trusted. Returning to Aku, the trio learns that Aku inhabitants were feeling down over the fact that they couldn't manage to beat Tomoe and Mio. The orcs and lizardmen felt depressed and useless in this situation. Tomoe creates a tournament where both races would face each other to determine the strongest warrior and boost the morale of Aku's warriors. The heroes decide to return to Siege for Mio and Tomoe to enroll in the Adventurers Guild. The other guild members inform Makoto that someone mysterious has been killing all of the adventurers in Siege. Hearing this, Makoto decides to help the guild with a group of adventurers. The group is Toa's party, where Tomoe will train so they can get rid of complicated jobs in the shortest possible time. Tomoe trains the group for several days, and although it seems like they're useless, they learn to work as a team after a few classes. Once they finish their first mission, Tomoe grants them another, and although no one in the guild has faith in them, they fulfilled the task perfectly. The heroes decide to celebrate with bonfires, dances, and a lot of alcohol for the population of Aku. The specific reason for the party was that Makoto and Tomoe had managed to create a Mirage City. The Mirage's purpose was to show the people of the world the different things that Aku had without the need for them to enter the real Aku. At night, Mio and Tomoe feel something is wrong with their master. They quickly go to Makoto's rescue only to find him practicing with the bow. But they freak out because they think he's dead due to Makoto's great concentration when shooting with a bow. Although he doesn't know it, this state of concentration increases his mana power, which is already almost at the same level as Megami's. In Siege, Makoto meets a woman who offers him a night of passion. However, she leaves when Tomoe and Mio chase her away. Both girls want to please the wishes of their master, but he doesn't let them because he considers them his family. After closing some deals, Makoto and Mio enter the Tinnarak Forest, where they get ambushed by a race of demi-humans. During the battle in the forest, it seemed like Makoto couldn't handle the two girls attacking him and the other group nearby, but he manages to defeat them using dark magic. Makoto tells Tomoe to teleport the group attacked by girls to the Mirage City and protect them. After Makoto won the fight, he questioned the girls, who introduced themselves as Aqua and Eris. Both were a part of a group of warriors who lived in the forest and protected the Tinnarak Forest from humans or invaders. Makoto explains that he has no intention of stealing anything from them, but that he came to negotiate and tells them that he won't harm anyone. Aqua and Eris see that Makoto has no bad intentions and take him to the village with their leader. Once in the village, Makoto meets Nilgistri, the leader of the Tinnarak Forest tribe. Nilgistri talks with Makoto to agree on what he needs from the forest. However, Makoto isn't happy with the meeting results and asks Mio to investigate everyone present. Mio begins investigating and discovers that one of them is an evil entity. This evil entity was a lich, who wanted Makoto for his plans, but Makoto gets him to Aku, where he proposes to make a pact with him. After the pact, Makoto names the lich Shiki. Everything is going well until Tomoe feels a presence and collapses injured. It turns out that the Mirage City is under attack by the adventurers that Makoto sent earlier, and since Tomoe was involved in the Mirage, she could sense what was happening. Once Makoto finds out the Mirage City is under attack, he runs to help. Although when he arrives, he finds some mist portals and an explosion. When Makoto touched the mist, he saw what happened in the city, so he went to look for whoever was responsible for the explosion. There was only one survivor whom Makoto killed without any mercy. Makoto increased the security of the Mirage City and makes a funeral for those who fell in battle. As Makoto needed to close some deals to get his place in siege, he went on a business trip with Shiki. However, the trip plans got ruined, because when they're out in the capital, Megami sends Makoto to a warfield, where he meets two people ready to kill him. With no chance to communicate with his companions, Makoto stands alone against these two powerful enemies. These are Sophia and Lancer, two soldiers from the Demon's army sent to kill Makoto for being sent by Megami. The fight begins, and Sophia attacks Makoto so quickly that she cuts off two of his fingers. Makoto decides not to attack them because he doesn't want to harm anyone. Makoto creates a distraction to flee, but his enemies find him quickly and attack to kill him. Makoto, having no choice, decides to get rid of his rings and fight with all of his power. He fights both of them, using his rings as a trigger to unleash a massive power, using his water bow power. With the attack, Makoto manages to escape, although very weakened. His companions go to his rescue and heal his wounds, recovering the fingers he lost in battle. Once the battle is over, Makoto dedicates himself to opening his store in Siege to promote Aku's products. And now the Mirage City was rebuilt and ready to host visitors. Everything is going great for the heroes who prepare for any challenge this world throws their way. And that was Moonlit Fantasy Season 1 recap. If you enjoyed this recap, remember to hit that sub, click the like button, and comment down below to let me know what you think of the series. I'll see you on the next video.